What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. All right, we're going to do a quick Bitcoin update, take a look at how the daily chart is looking, and we'll also take a look at the weekly chart. I want to show you guys this range that we're in, basically having a little fight in. And then I'll take a look. We're going to look a little deeper at the volume. We're going to take a look at these volume profile charts. So before we get into that, the altcoins have been an interesting market. They haven't been just diving down. We've actually had some actionable bounces, and we have created this indicator. It's kind of a daily indicator that fires, so it's not more manageable. You're not going to get a ton of signals, but you can set an alert on this. And I really like this on the small cap coins. It does a good job of signaling when the technicals are turning up, and then we get decent moves out of them. This is FET, but I mean, some of the smaller cap stuff, just on a list here that I have, you can see that pretty nice entries on those. Again, these are dailies, so pretty manageable. You're not going to get a ton of entries, or you don't have to babysit smaller time frames if you're busy. Here's another one, District 0x. You can see got entry there, nice pop there. Here's one on Doc, same thing. And I can go down this list on and on, but it gives us good entries. And the environment right now, because Bitcoin dominance has kind of taken a break, is very, very good for these entries. And these work even when things are still trending down. You'll still get pops. You just have to kind of dial down your target percentage. So if you're interested in that, head over to tradelikeagenius.com. And we got specials running, 40% off. You can get the moneymaker. You get the moneymaker during October. You'll be grandfathered in on that altcoin signal. We'll release that to the guys coming to our Kona training, and after that, we'll start releasing it out to the rest of the subs. All right, guys, let's dive into this video.
Trade Genius.
All right, guys, so on the daily, we do have a moneymaker buy, and we've been cycling, back and forth in this consolidation range until we broke down. When we broke down, we were in a moneymaker sell condition. So that if it's going to break down through there, that's typically on that down cycles when it's going to happen. Now, we came down to the 200 period moving average. That bounced it held for like a day and then broke through that. So that to me is pretty bearish. There's a saying, nothing good happens under the 200-day moving average, and this quicker moving average is starting to move down. A lot of times what'll happen, that plays catch up to price, and you see another move lower. We do have a moneymaker buy. However, we've failed to get above the 200-day moving average. We poked above it. It was looking pretty good there briefly, and then quickly price pushed back down. Another thing I don't like is that this stochastic is starting to roll over, and usually we get some follow through off these moneymaker buy signals when we do get them to fire. The stochastics will usually follow through, and already this is starting to turn over. So there's some indications there that this may not be done to the downside. If we look at the weekly area where we're fighting, so basically when you look back in the chart and you see these areas where you're marching up, but you have these areas where, like, for a week it went red and then it was overcome by the buyers again. When price comes back into those ranges, quite often what will happen is they'll come into there and then they'll either bounce off that level or fight in that level for a while and then move higher, but they usually don't just move right through it. And sometimes you can spend quite a while in here. And where we are in the cycle of things, as we are starting to head toward that pre-halving date in May of 2020, we talked about where we would start seeing volatility die down a bit and start consolidating, and things might get boring. And exasperating that this week is China's Golden Week. Basically, that's just like they've taken the week off and everyone's out and about. So we have seen volume drying up, but more so this week. So things are going to get quiet. That being said, there can be some volatility to the downside. So the risk, I think, right now is to the downside until we prove otherwise by getting back above the 200-day moving average. If we really drill down here, you're going to see the current range that we're in basically is this. This black line represents the daily 200 period moving average superimposed on the 4-hour chart. But here we're in this range. So this black line here at around 81.75 is the midpoint of this weekly block. Okay, and price has more or less been bouncing up and around it. Okay, so that's pretty strong area there. We can't get too far above it, and we can't seem to get too far below it. Price has dipped well within the fib ranges that we like to see for bounces from, but we haven't seen anything strong out of it, so we're kind of just keep making gradual lows. When price does seem to get bullish, it seems to be during the Asian sessions. Price will come up and then it gets faded. We've seen that happen here. So, and now we're going into the weekend. Weekends haven't been overly bullish lately, and with China on vacation, don't be surprised if we see some shenanigans over the weekend with some quick moves. The risk still is going to be these lows that we've made down here, testing those again. And if we look on the volume charts, okay, so this is volume profile. Basically what it's doing is it's showing you, instead of just seeing the weekly candle bars, you're actually seeing where the price volume, or where the volume peaks were inside those weekly bars. And one thing you'll notice in that this area here, this is where we're on that weekly chart. You see that area of red that we're testing, and you'll notice that your volume peaks are all around this 79.80 to 8,000 level, basically 79.50 to 8,000. And the bottoms of these areas that are highlighted, those are called the value areas. So that's where a majority of your volume takes place during the candle period. And you'll notice that most of those value areas bottom out right around where these recent lows have been, that's been tested. So that's why that price hasn't really plummeted through there, is because there's a lot of volume support there. If price breaks through that, and let's say we get a weekly close below here, then what you're looking at is this area here, and then that's going to be like sub 6,000, where you'd see a large concentration of volume support. So it's a little interesting between those two levels. Things could get a little dicey if there isn't a quick move down here. So if you get down to 7,400 and it doesn't retreat quickly, that could start gaining momentum fairly quickly down. Okay, so that's what you need to keep in mind when those levels, if we see those levels. Otherwise, if we get through the golden week without a dip, and let's say it's one of those golden weeks where we chop sideways, then we'd be historically looking at price going back up. And that would look something like, this is the golden week that we're in. Typically, if we do drop, we'd see it around the October 4th or 5th. So within the next 24 hours, usually if we do have golden week drops, it's right in the middle of this, and then it bounces. So maybe the next 24 to 48 hours, if we don't see that, then the other scenario is chopping sideways. The only 2 years that we didn't move up out of this area after golden week was post halving peaks, and we were in bear market. So the 2013 started that bear market in the 2014, and then this most recent one in 2018. Those were the 2 years that we did not get a bullish move out of this golden week. So for where we are in the cycle, we should see that. All right, guys, so that's just a kind of a quick update, let you guys know what we're looking at. Currently, we are short in the room, and we've actually taken basically risk off position at this point. So if, again, I'm not really going to be bullish on this unless we see a close back above the 200 period moving average. As you can see, pretty much a volume void here. So once this resolves and we actually do get a close above the 200 period moving average, we could get a quick move back up into the 9400s, where most people are going to think that that's going to be a big time short, and that might initially react off of there or pause. But these levels of what is perceived resistance a lot of times are just getting run over. So don't think that this is a huge level of resistance just because price had bounced off that for a while, because if you recall, the 6,000 level was similar to this, and that just got basically run over with barely saying hi. So just keep that in mind when we do go back up there, because we are in that part of the cycle where price is going to want to get going higher the closer we get to halving. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. I hope it helps. Please hit like and subscribe. It really helps out our channel. We enjoy giving you guys this content, and smashing that like button, hitting subscribe helps us to continue to do that. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.